Hello guys, today we are going to be talking about how I went from this setup to a way better setup that I'd be doing these days. Kind of like that. So I'm going to be going over every single progression that I've had since 2022 to current day. This is a video of what my booth looked like the first time I ever vended at any event ever. It was kind of a fail and had some weird moments in there, but we got through it. Moral of the story is you have to start somewhere, even if it is kind of difficult the first couple times. I was super lucky to work at a sign shop for a couple months, and they let me print off a banner for my booth. At this point, I have figured out my brand identity, gotten registered as Missouri Tax ID, and a bunch of other things that I figured out between the year of the last booth and then this booth that I'm printing this banner for. So this is just a video of that getting printed, and I have a little tip for you guys. Hopefully you have a local hardware store that you can go to. I used these closet shelf things to make a little display that I will leave this link in the description. If you just get 3 of these, you can zip tie them together and it makes a really good vertical display that you'll see later in the video. Now we're going to get back into the booth setups. So this is my second time vending at a booth. I still have only one table, but I feel like it's a lot more cohesive looking and the banner really makes everything look put together. And I also bought a claw machine. This is after that last booth, so it's been quite a while, but I bought a claw machine to use, and I charged $5 for them to play, and basically they get a item of basically $5 value. At this point, I had to make business cards because people kept asking for business cards, and I didn't have any. I know it's so easy to just put a QR code on your banner or whatever, which is what I did for a while, but people kept asking, do you have a business card? Do you have a business card? And so I made business cards and now I carry them around with me in my wallet just in case people want to know what I do. So I think it's really good to have those, even if it is kind of wasteful in my mind. But if it gets people to know who you are and your brand, I'd say do it. At this point in the video, we are looking at events that I've done in 2024 this year. So I did an event outside, I did an event inside. Honestly, neither of them were super duper successful. The one outside was a little better, but overall, I would say that it was not seeming like it was worth it to me, but I knew that I just had to keep pushing and doing better events because these were not like super publicized or even events that were necessarily based on like small business and artists. So it was just kind of my fault that I just settled for events that were not based on what I do as a printmaker and artist. Personally, I've decided that one table is just not enough for me. If you have a lot of products and they take up a lot of space, like I have a lot of things that are framed because people have bought framed things from me before. And I have these iron-on patches that I made that you'll see here in a minute. But basically what I'm saying is like if you have a lot of products, like I do not recommend just one table. You have to have some sort of like either shelf or rack or something else, because if it's just one table, it's like it doesn't seem like that interesting to me. It's just one table. Unless you're like really focused on what you have and there's smaller items like I don't know, jewelry or stickers or something like that. I just have too much stuff. But there's those iron-on patches, and here's another event. This event was in St. Louis at Fost Park. It was super fun because I had friends there from college as well as professors from college that were also vending at it. I had a great booth neighbor, but I forgot my canopy at home. I did, however, get a custom order for this resin coaster because I ran out of Zelda coasters. And this is probably the most successful event that I've had all year and probably will have all year. It was for the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue at Farmington. This was a 2-day event that I was at, and I had just learned how to crochet recently, so I had like one little amigurumi guy that was just sitting there all alone, and someone did buy it, and I was pretty happy about that. But I, at this point, just do not have one table anymore. I have to have 3. It's just not enough. For the amount of stuff I have, like I said, it's just, it's quite a lot of stuff, I feel like, and it looks better over 3 tables, and I feel like I can actually put everything out. Overall, the second day of this event was way busier, and I got like twice as many sales. What I'm showing you guys now is a little shelf that I found that I'm going to be using for my bowl holders from now on, because in the previous video, if you look at the shelf that I have for my bowl holders, it's like twice as big as this one. So it's going to be a lot easier for me to have this one in my car, haul it around, and it fits them perfectly, and I can put my little like display on the bottom. And this is on a more serious note, but I did want to talk about how I'm partnering with the I'm Glad You Stayed project. I'm having all of their resources at my events from now on. I think it's so important to start a conversation about mental health and suicide that I don't even care if it's taking up space in my booth. It's more important than anything I could sell. I was really inspired to do this after watching a performance about suicide, and I decided I wanted to take my own stance. So there's my first little setup of it in my booth. I will be leaving a link in the description to their website, but this is the last and most recent booth that I've done. It was a weekend or two ago, and I have one more this coming weekend, but I just wanted to thank you guys for watching my video this week. I know it's kind of rambunctious and sporadic, but as always, I appreciate it. See you next Sunday!